Howdy guys, I'm FE6, your favorite wolf girl enthusiast, and welcome back to my Fire Emblem The Binding Blade Ironman Randomizer, with 10% crit on all the weapons. Today it's time for Chapter 8X, The Blazing Blade, indeed our first guidance chapter in this particular game, and with quite a cool title, no doubt. Perhaps one might be inclined to make a little Fire Emblem fan game out of that title. You could perhaps make it a sequel, or to break the mold, even a prequel to this game. Indeed, that would be quite the adventure, wouldn't it? Well, today's map is actually quite a fun one in my mind. We are going to be making use of a certain somebody. If you watched the last episode, you know who. And we're going to be taking on this guy, the classic Hennig. Probably one of the most feared bosses in Fire Emblem history. Just by these stats. 21 skill isn't the thing to be afraid of, though it does look daunting. It's that 18 speed that really gets him going. Even though he is weighed down by his steel blade, of course. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and do my battle preps, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, I do believe it's finally time to get into this one. This one's going to be a very fun one. I'm going to treat this one as a little bit of a grinding adventure, because we have a lot of axe enemies and a lot of sword allies. So we should have a grand time with that, including the wonderful, magnificent man himself, Barthe, who I have that Night Crest on. I'm thinking I'll go ahead and train him throughout this chapter, and then I will go ahead and promote him at the end of this chapter, instead of, you know, sort of hastily rolling into it with this one, because none of the enemies in this chapter are, like, notably scary for him, except for the boss, obviously, who will probably one-round him. He has 0 luck, of course, but he will be okay. This guy has a steel axe, that's 23 attack, 22 with weapon triangle, and then he takes 6 damage with his 16 defense. So even a crit won't kill him, quite luckily, quite miraculously. So my intended strategy out the gate for this one is to just bait out a bunch of the enemies and see what kills I can get and what enemies I can weaken up to a suitable point. I know that Roy can bait this one out with no issues, for example, presuming he doesn't get doubled. 11 damage, or I mean 11 speed, he actually does get doubled. It's a good thing I checked that, because he would have taken death from a crit, as a matter of fact. Which, to be fair, he does have the Lilina and the Wolt support, so this guy's crit rate is what? 15 and 11. Okay, actually, I can do this safely. Even if he gets doubled, he's not getting crit, so I will go ahead and do this. I also gave him that Elysian Whip. I should have given him a Steel Lance if I had one. I didn't think to do that, because I wasn't expecting him to actually get doubled. But that's okay. I do want to make sure that we'll be okay. 13 damage from the Iron Lance will mean a kill for him next turn. And this guy's got a Steel Sword, if I recall, so I'm going to let Shanna bait that one. Mostly just because she is completely safe to do so. Place Deke back here. I did drop Rutger off this map, just because he can't really attack. He would have been primarily just for building supports if I were to have used him. And I'm not using him this map as a result of that. I'm going to be grinding support levels at the start of this map, as opposed to at the end of it, if I can get through these enemies at the start without any issues. Chad back here. Go ahead and stand next to Lou for now. Lou can kind of just be the flexible, gets kills if he can unit. I do have to be careful up here with Roy, because there is an Air Caliber mage, and then otherwise a couple of archers. I think 2 of them. 3 of them. And then this one doesn't move, so I don't have to worry about that one, but this one does move. Beyond that, Deke is just here for the moral support and with the Bolting Tome, in case anything comes right down to him needing to get the kill. Very much so in a mandatory manner, because as you can see, he's one-shotting and doubling with the Bolting Tome. I don't intend to use it, it's just if I have to, then he will make use of it for me. And that should be about the extent of it for this map. I'm not going to worry about dancing every single turn, because otherwise my dancers are going to be level 20 by the end of this map, and Wolt is almost level 20. Oh, also, I didn't forget. I still have it, but he's not promoted yet, so I can't use it just yet. But bear in mind, he does have that, and I might be able to make use of that by the end of the map. He's actually going to be shockingly good with it, just because of the fact that he has so low speed. I mean, it's already a heavy weapon as it is. It's like, what, 18? Yeah, 18 weight, so even he is losing 6 speed to it. But him having 0 speed with it means that he won't double, and thusly potentially kill himself by doubling. And that's what my biggest hope is. Let's just make sure that this is fine. It is fine. He is getting doubled, but he has 2 support partners right next to him. So that's what we're going for. And this one should be fun. The enemies don't swarm you down if you don't approach them. So we should be okay. Very nice. Okay, yeah, the Slim Sword does have a heightened crit rate. It seems that that enemy actually has a point of luck because it should have had 15 crit rate. Maybe a little bit more because of his skill, so the enemies do actually have luck in this game. Them having luck does essentially mean that crits are not exactly guaranteed on my side, which is quite nice. I have actually thought about that some for if I do an FE7 or an FE8 run. Ooh, she actually does face crit rate from that guy, because Deke isn't in range, that's the issue. She kills, though, it's fine. I have thought about that, and I'm considering potentially lowering the crit on my weapons to 5 somehow, and leaving it as 10 for the enemies. The way that I'm thinking about doing that is potentially seeing about if I could just hack like a -5 crit rate skill into the game, and then just apply it to all of the player characters, like under the ropes, I guess I would say. That doesn't really mean anything, but sort of behind the scenes apply that to my characters. It should, in theory, be possible. It would just be a matter of figuring out how to do so. Ah yes, and the classic fire tiles in this game. Classic, classic, classic. Got to love them. I forget if in this game you can disable those, like you can with Thieves, Assassins, and Rogues in FE8. Because if they stand on fire tiles in that game, it just disables them, which I think is just a bit of an oversight, but still quite funny to me. Let's see. Roy could kill this guy completely safely. All I would have to do is put one of these characters in range. However, this is a kill for Lilina. That is probably going to be my #1 priority. If I can get kills on Lilina, that's what I'm going for. So, Roy, go ahead and kill this one before Lilina does move. Like I said, I really just want to gain experience at a rapid rate in this level. I want to give it to the best candidates at the best times. That's my biggest goal. As you saw, Barthe didn't actually gain much experience because these enemies aren't notably high level. But Lilina will still gain a fair bit because she is low level. She is actually a candidate for that Night Crest. If by the end of this map I find it more valuable for her, then I might give it to her. Her biggest downfall right now is her 2 defense, but otherwise she's chillin'. She's gonna have to become a dodge tank. She supports both Barthe and Roy, and I think Barthe also gives a void, he just doesn't give hit rate. So he'll be helping her out in that regard. How do I want to handle this, I wonder? Probably just Shanna, to be completely honest. I don't see why not. I could just dance, go right there, probably heal her while I'm at it. I need to be a little bit careful about my unit placements, just because I need to build support levels and make use of like all 50 turns of support gain that I can possibly do. So I'll go ahead and dance for Deke. I'll place him down right here, probably. Yeah, that works for me. Just kind of need to get through these starting enemies, and then like I said, I will maximize support gains this map, because it's not often that I get to do that. Because usually there's an objective that you have to move towards pretty rapidly, or there are enemies sort of floating around, but this map's a good one for not doing that. As a matter of fact, this one's a rather slow map if you want it to be. I've seen this one done very fast. A lot of the time people use Shanna to ferry people across right here, and that's, you know, pretty neat and stuff. I could do the same thing with Roy, you know, ferry people from here to here. Do whatever I've got to in that regard, but I'm not too caught up on doing that right now. I guess Barthe could probably just bait this archer without too much issue, I would imagine. 16, 17, yeah, he's chilling, even if he gets doubled, which he probably will. Actually, no, he won't. Yeah, he loses 2 speed to this, so he will not get doubled. As for Boars, I do need to go ahead and consider his support options too, because I know he supports Lilina, but I'm not going to be able to give that support to him, because I'm going to prioritize it with Roy. I want them to have the A support. Either that, or maybe Wolt with the A support, but I think I want it to be Lilina, because overlapping Dark Affinity is pretty good. And then, let's see, Lou and Chad don't support, so I can do this. Or, I mean, Lou and Chad do support, but Wolt and Lou don't, so I can do this. Okay. Should only be one more turn, and then I can go ahead and get those support gains, and then move along into that territory. Shanna's going to be probably my boss killer this map. I would have to imagine that she's going to be the one to kill him. Either that, or I guess Deke, but, like, he's good. He doesn't need the experience at all. Okay, well, we do have an enemy chasing us down. As a matter of fact, that one lone archer, and I guess a fighter, but that's fine. Another thing with Barthe is that I'm completely okay with him missing attacks because it still builds his lance rank. If I could get him to C rank lances, he would have access to the killer lance next map, which I do have one of because of the what was it called, the treasure chest last map. We had one of those. Him with swords is actually pretty good. I'm decently happy that he has a high rank in swords to start off instead of with lances, because it means that he can use better swords than just Slim and stuff, even though Slim is what I obviously have on him right now. But he could use like a killing edge if I get a hold of one that's not affixed to Shanna for the time being. She doubles. I think I'm just going to do that, yeah. So, I saw some comments from you guys and stuff, and I noted that Lilina is actually a lot better than I gave her credit for. She actually has pretty great growth rates. I mean, they definitely came out, well, I say that, but then, you know what, strength and luck. Those are both great. But I was under the impression that her speed growth was a lot lower than I gave her credit for. And I'm glad that it's not. I'm very much so glad that it's not as low as I thought it was. I know it's not like outstanding or anything, but I was thinking it was like 20% just because of Hector. Actually, let me check and see what that is really quickly. I'll be right back. Alrighty, she has a 35% speed growth, which I can certainly work with. I was under the impression it was just like horribly bad for some reason, and I don't really know why. But it's decent, it's good, and I'm perfectly happy about that. I mean, 35% isn't like, yeah, this character's going to be a speed demon or anything. But it's like, right there at the threshold of, yeah, this character is probably not going to get doubled at least, and that's pretty important for her. Because I think she'll eventually get enough HP that she'll be able to survive one hit, and then she'll otherwise be a dodge tank because of the Roy support. Let's see, I kind of want to put... You should... Oh, yeah, that's a halberd guy. That's okay. I mean, I guess it's fine if I put Deke right here. It shouldn't really impact my gameplay at all. I mostly just want to bait out all three of these fighters the first possible chance. Because these guys, I don't have to worry about their hit rates against me. But I do definitely want to get them dead as soon as possible. Maybe I'll just back off still. Go like right here. Let this guy attack me. I'll just use the Owl Sword. I think with the Deke support, she might be able to get that kill. And then just back off. Oh, they already have their support. Very good. I think that's A level, right? Yes, it is. That's 3 defense for both of them now when they're near each other. And I didn't see any comments about reading the support, so I'm going to go ahead and not do that. But still, if you guys want me to, let me know. Don't mind to at all. Can always make a little fun thing out of those. So, let's go ahead and get into this one. She does have a chance to die, as a matter of fact. It would just be insanely unlikely, to the point that I am willing to risk it entirely. She would have to get hit by both a hand axe and that halberd. The hand axe may not even be in range. No, it is. It should be. Hopefully Boars doesn't kill this one. Very good. Excellent. Don't crit. Because I could give this one to Lilina as well. Or Barthe. Okay, well, never mind. That's completely fine, too. Boars, while not in need of experience, is a very capable target for experience. If we ever get a guiding ring, please, I'm begging you. Oh, actually, she couldn't have died there. That's hilarious. Then I might give it to Boars right away instead of Deke. Because low-key, Boars needs the stats more. Like, he's not desperately in need of stats, but if he had like a little bump in speed, magic, defense, he would pretty quickly become untouchable. He's already borderline untouchable just thanks to that 34 HP and the 15 defense, but he would for sure be untouchable, given the right opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to kill this one with Shanna. Should be just fine. I could probably get 1 kill with Alina, and then 1 kill with somebody else. Doesn't really matter who in this regard. I've got 2 dancers after all, and thusly I can dance any unit at any time. It's the primary reason I brought those. I do need to check out Saul's supports at some point, because I don't actually recall them off the top of my head. How do I want to go about this? I could guarantee 1 kill for Lilina. Deke's probably just going to kill, right? Yeah, he's cold-blooded. He doesn't care. And then, you know what? Maybe I could send Barthe use the steel sword from Lilina to get the kill. That might be worth it. Because she does have, well, she has a lot of things in her inventory. I gave her the steel blade just on account of it being so powerful. But it does take her from doubling to getting doubled, so I need to bear that in mind. And that's also bearing in mind this is a halberd guy. He loses 4 speed, so that means it's literally down to 0 speed for her with the steel blade. I think, right? 14, yeah, it's literally -9 speed for her, which is 0 speed. Kind of wild. But that's fine. Steel Blade is probably just money for me anyway, like I mentioned when I got it. And we'll just go ahead and do this. I'm going to use the Iron Blade because I don't need the uses on it. This is get rid of bad weapons, the map, I suppose. I guess I could just sell the Iron Blade. It's not that bad or anything, which is why I haven't sold it. But, I don't know. It's not really good at all. That has some good utility to it. I guess what I'll do... Yeah, I'll try this, and we'll see what happens. I think she should be doubling this guy. He's also -1 speed. No, she's not doubling. She's getting doubled with the Iron Blade. But that's okay. I should be able to manage this kill. 15, and then if she can do 14, I'm pretty content with that. She can do 14 with the Steel Sword and not get doubled. Plus, she'll have the Roy support in range, so that'll work for me. I will have to heal Roy, but preferably rescue him, which I can do. He also needs to hit this. If not, then I have to use Deke to get the kill. And that would be unfortunate. I would very much hate to have to sully his muscles, his sheer willpower, by having to kill a lowly axeman, which is something he's done much of in a vanilla playthrough. I am actually interested in how Deke became this way. I'm not perfectly sure if it's a result of his base stats, or if it's just because he got lucky on gaining a little bit of the, what would you call it? The growth rates. Not the growth rates, the delta stats, I think it's called, where units gain or lose up to 3, a range of 1 to 3 stats in this randomizer. Because that's what I did, just for a little bit of variance, so that we're not using just straight up the unit in the class. Alrighty, and that archer will get to us in due time. I will leave Barthe in his range. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and speed through a little bit of support grinding, just to get that good and over with. My primary targets are going to be Lilina and Barthe for this one. I think... yeah. Okay, well, like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, so be right back. Okay, well, I am reading this support line at least, so let's go ahead and bring this one back in.
Lilina! Lilina!
Roy?
What's the matter? You were spacing out again. This is a battlefield. You could get killed.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
It's just that we've come so far.
Have we?
I'm not talking about distance. It's just that everything seems to have changed so quickly. Do you remember back when you first came to Ostia to study?
Of course. It was 2 years ago. Wait, or was it 3 years ago?
Our fathers were both still well. Lycia was peaceful. No one could have imagined this war. It was only a few years ago, yet it feels like an eternity.
Lilina.
Oh, just listen to me. There's no going back to those days, is there?
Very much so sad indeed. Poor Lilina. She didn't deserve it. She got the short end of the stick by all means. But, I guess that's okay, because she's gonna have 2 new friends in the form of Barthe and Roy. Well, I guess they were already friends. That's fine. So, as for my other support options, Shanna's chillin'. She doesn't need anything for now. Chad and Lou are now at A rank, so they're good. Deke, Lou is with his support partner. Yeah, I think it's just Barthe now that I'm focusing, so that will be the quick speed up. Okay, well, I'm also going to have to read this one, because this one's going to be fantastic, I'm sure. And I would have to wager a guess that not many people have seen this support, as it were. I guess more probably than I would expect, because it is the Triangle Attack Knight, guys, but I want to read this one, because I haven't seen it.
Ah, Barthe. Long time no see.
Yes, you seem to have improved a great deal.
There were many tough battles in our journey from Lycia to Ostia.
Well, it's not as if I was just sitting around in Ostia either. I trained at the arena, preparing for battle.
It's rough.
I remember that arena. I have to say, though, I don't really approve of that. A knight fighting for money? It's almost a contradiction.
No one has need of a weak knight. I trained myself to prevail in battle.
You haven't changed at all.
Neither of you, oaf.
Wow. How mean. That's cruel. Unlucky, man. I'll just go ahead and grab this other one with Lilina then.
Barthe, I haven't thanked you yet, have I?
Thanked me.
You came to rescue me.
Oh, that. Such is my duty as a knight, milady.
Hat tip.
If anything, I should apologize that we didn't arrive sooner.
Barthe, I'm sorry. I can never repay you for that. Oh, I know. Here, take this necklace.
Lady Lilina, please, we do not fight for reward.
You just talked about that, but fine, okay.
But
You're safe. That in itself is reward enough.
thank you, Barthe.
Pretty simplistic, but you know what? I kind of enjoy Barthe. I'll continue reading Barthe's supports as we get them because I'm starting to realize that he might actually be a character that I just sort of straight up enjoy, which is atypical in a sense. Like not that there are characters that I enjoy, but I wasn't expecting so much to enjoy the like dour knight type, if that makes any sense. There are a couple of them that I enjoy, like Kyle in FE8 is one of my favorite characters, for example. But I was not expecting it with Barthe at all. So, with these supports, I'm going to grab just a couple more turns of doing this to maximize the support gains, just because I know that there are a few turns left, which will give us support gains, maybe even with this group down here. Even though they're not going to be able to get another support this chapter, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and maximize those support gains a bit. I would say I'll just do 2 more turns to make it an even 40, and then they should be maxed out by now, just because of how much Roy and Lilina gain from each other. It is a very, very high amount. And now we should be able to move, so Barthe is going to be a lot better now. Wind, Thunder, Dark is a very strange combination, but they all give crit rate. So he will, at the end of this support chain, I almost said support group again, which I guess, you know, this would be a fair support group. He's going to have plus 25 crit. So with a Slim Sword, he's going to have 40 floating crit rate by the end of the training arc, so to say. I think they also give a Void, all of them. I may be misremembering. I want to say that Thunder gives no hit rate, but it does give a Void. But maybe I'm confusing that with Wind. I can't quite recall. Those two are the ones that I can never remember if it's hit rate or a Void that they give. But it should be okay regardless, and we should be able to move on regardless. Need to bear in mind still that Boars is not my most robust in terms of his magic tanking capabilities, but it should be okay in this instance. 14 minus 5 is 9, so he'll be okay. As a matter of fact, once he gets that B support with Barthe, he will be up to plus 1 attack, plus 1 defense from Barthe, and that's going to be quite nice. The only other thing that's left for this map is to remain a little bit wary of the fire tiles. They're not really that big of a deal in this game, because despite the fact that they hurt somewhat, they don't activate guaranteed when you stand on them like they do in FE8. It's just a random one, or what is like 3 to 5 of them per turn or something. I can't remember, because it's literally only this map that you have to think about them. And if that mage didn't move, then I'm chillin'. Let's see. Yeah, he didn't. So, a little bit of experience for the old Barthe, probably. Presuming no crit once again. That's the biggest thing with Boars, is if he crits, he's getting the kill. But if he doesn't, then I'm getting experience with somebody else. And that's honestly quite a nice niche to fall into. It's like a mini Marcus type vibe. Except that the Marcus doesn't stop getting kills, essentially. I'm going to go ahead and heal him before I do place him on that tile, because there's a chance that it goes off and then it deals 10 damage. I'm also... how does that work again? I don't think that they can crit the fire tiles. I don't think that the fire tiles can crit. Apologies, felt a little bit of a sneeze coming on. That's nature's way of critting me. But anyway, I think that Barthe... Let's see. So, what I was getting at before was that the fire tiles don't have an innate crit rate, but if they kill you, then they crit you, is what I think the thing is with those. Again, I don't perfectly recall whether or not that's true, but I do believe that it's something to take note of. As you can see, these two supports are already coming in super handy. On top of them all giving crit rate, they all give crit avoid. So he's getting a lot of help from this. You can see he's going from that 8 crit rate up to 13 just by not being in range of Lilina, which is actually kind of insane. Because right now they both give... Wait, how does that work again? Am I forgetting something about crit avoid? Because I'm pretty sure all three of these do give crit avoid. I know for sure Dark and Wind do, because I made a point of that in my FE7 run, back when I did that insane playthrough of it. Maybe it's crit avoid that Thunder doesn't give? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Okay, I finally got that figured out. So it's Wind Affinity doesn't give avoid, just base avoid, and Thunder doesn't give hit rate. So I will try my best to remember that going forward. I'm a little bit sketched out in doing this because obviously if he misses a 91, he could just straight up die. But he's got to get experience somehow, right? And I'm aiming for at least one level up on him by the end of this map. So that's what I'm going to go for. 91 should be about guaranteed. I shouldn't actually be concerned about 91. We do run on a 2RN system with this game. So in theory, ooh, I didn't take note of that though. He'll be okay against... these two. Yeah, he can't even deal damage. Okay, he's fine. Yeah, okay, we're doing just fine with this situation. I always forget that 16 defense is actually enormous. Like, it's so much defense. I shouldn't have to even worry about it, even a slight bit. It's just that I know how much it means to also get doubled and have crit rate facing you pretty tremendously. As you can see, though, 23 crit rate already. He is getting doubled, of course, but... for absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter to him in the slightest. And if the Axe Fighter will come down here, then that'll be an easy something or another, because somehow still getting hit by 42. Alrighty. And with that situation under control, surprisingly getting hit, well, he did too, so get bodied, fool. But with that situation under control, Barthe, that was a lot of those. They all went off that time, it felt like. With Barthe like this, and obviously taking no damage, even from his Steel Sword guy, I can stand here and train up his Lance rank a little bit. Even if he misses, it's fine, because I can get the kill. But his Lance rank still goes up, and that's what's important. Like I said, I'm aiming for that C rank, because now that he's getting all that crit rate going, he's going to get plus 25 crit rate, and then he's going to have plus 40 from the Killer Lance because of its crit boost. So that's just 65? Yeah, 65 crit rate for free. And then whatever half of his skill adds to it. As of right now, he is facing a pretty tremendous skill issue, so he's not in the zone in that sense, but that's okay. Kill this one with Lilina. She is really good. With all her support gains in effect, she's really good. She didn't even have Roy near her that time, and she was doing perfectly okay. And then Roy can get this one pretty definitively, so I'll do that. That'll work out for me. That will work out for me indeed. And then we'll just vibe for a bit. We're going to be cutting this... well, I'm not going to be cutting anything, but we're going to be cutting this one down into little segments in terms of the gameplay. Because it's really just tackle group of enemies, move on, tackle group of enemies, move on for the remainder of this one. The big worry is going to be this section, because I do have to get into these units, even though these two, I think these three don't move. This one, I believe, does move, but these three don't. And they're quite scary. Well, this one in particular is scary, but he doesn't move, so I can two-range him with the intelligent systems-ly placed fire tiles around him from the two-range locations. Yeah. Just chill out. These two are going to be really good now, by the way. They have that +3 defense with each other, so Lou is toting around a little bit more than a Dragon Shield when he's near Chad. That's quite nice. Alrighty. And if Barthe weakens enough, I may elect to just give kills to Roy instead. Because, like I said, he still needs the experience. My understanding is that Roy is still going to promote whenever he gets the Binding Blade. I don't know if he's going to become a Great Lord when that happens, but he is still going to promote, and thusly he's still going to get stats. So he's actually going to get up to 60 levels if I were to max him out in that regard. Okay. So, put Wolt in range. Like I said, I'm not worried about dancing every turn. I apologize, Froa. But I'm not. And we'll get as many kills as we can with Roy. If he can get to level 10, I'm honestly tempted just to promote him right away. Because he needs the stats pretty bad. He really, truly does. Bait with Barthe. Equip the sword. And heal him. So yeah, Barthe is actually going to start feeling pretty good here pretty soon, because with all this hit rate that he's getting from his supports, with all the crit rate, with all the avoid, while it's not maximum, it's still pretty good. And that's nice. I will dance the dancer in this case, just so that I can dance the healer, and try to max out the healing as much as possible too. If there's heals to be had, I should give them out. And then Deke just kind of vibing in the back, knowing that he is ready to be called upon, but not being used. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm probably just going to start using Barthe to bait everything forward, because he, like I said, does not worry about anything. These guys could deal 21 and, yeah, 21 damage with weapon triangles, so 6, or I guess he could die if he got crit by both of them, but, like, if he did, I would honestly find that kind of funny, so that's his mission right now. These guys will attack him from the side, and this guy from head-on, hopefully. That would honestly be pretty funny. I don't hope that it happens, but there's a sixth sense, or a sick part of me that's like, yeah, it wouldn't be, like, it would be really stupid, but it wouldn't be necessarily unfunny. Alrighty. Yeah. Probably gonna get a crit anyway. It is 22% crit rate. I would hope so. Yeah, there we go. Do let me know what you guys think about a potential FE7 and FE8 run like this. I did an FE8 run a very long time ago. That was actually my first playthrough here on the channel, but it was much, 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 much lesser quality. And I would not mind at all to revisit this particular series with other games in the series, because I find this to be very fun. Back in the good old days when I didn't really have as much control over the game as I now do. Alrighty, there we go. Force right here. And also let me know what you think about potentially reducing the crit rate for the player side, because with affinities the crit rate gets really, really high. And I could understand if the feeling is that, like, once you've got your affinities built, it becomes like a sort of unfairly weighted towards the player side. Either that, or instead of adding, like, what was it that I said? Instead of adding all that, having to go in and hack in a skill, essentially, I could honestly just give all of the enemies a default luck stat. Very nice, very good crit there. I could just bump them up to like 5 luck, and then at a certain point bump them up to like 8 or 7 luck. Like, not necessarily intentionally reducing my ability to crit them by a lot, but creating a barrier for me, so to say, so that they're not sitting around with, you know, like 0 luck literally the whole game. I mean, even this game, it kind of does luck in an interesting way, where it sort of scales with your enemy units in a way similar to other stats, but it always remains low. I don't think the enemies wind up with more than like 10-ish in their luck stat. So, I'm honestly quite tempted to give this one to Barthe. I mean, giving him the experience prior to promoting him isn't the worst decision in the world. He does quite well with it. Well, I say that, but you saw his growth rates last time, I believe. I think I put them on screen last time. He has good defense and good attack and nothing else at all. If he gets any luck, any speed, even any skill, it's pop-off worthy. Res especially, it's like a 2% or something. Alrighty. And that should work. Everyone's in range of Barthe. Roy can move up. Yeah, and beyond that, just chilling. Hate to take it so slowly, but like I said, this one we are definitely gunning for maximizing experience, because it's a slow-paced map otherwise. Whatever experience can be gained is valuable. Lilina and Barthe being my primary targets. I also need to focus a little bit more on Lou. If I could get a hero crest, well, I guess he would be my second target for that. Because right now it's going to be Shanna. If Shanna can promote, I'm promoting her. Okay, you didn't move. Perfect for me. A little bit of that fire action. Unlucky. Rip. Unfortunate, man. I was hoping for the kill on either Lilina or Barthe there. Probably on Lilina for that one, but oh well. And I know that this one doesn't move because I have experiences with this one, so I don't have to worry about him. But just to prove my point, just so that I know for an absolute fact that he doesn't move, I'll put someone right in his range who will kill him on retaliation and not jabate any of the others. So that's going to be my decision. I already know he doesn't move. I have experiences with him, like I said. I have cried, I've weeped, I've sobbed, and I've overcome many hardships as a result of that guy. I have been hit with such mighty Hellfire in my day that it has imprinted on me indefinitely. Alrighty, there we go. Like I said, perfect ability. We're just standing here, cool. They're like, should I make him move just to prove a fellow wrong? Maybe I should. Alrighty, let's do this, and then... There we go. Reduce that crit rate all the way down to 0. But yeah, as you can see, the supports and the affinities and whatnot really help out. If you've never played Fire Emblem with supports and affinities, or if you don't perfectly understand them, I would highly recommend trying to get a grasp of those. It's completely fine if it doesn't make any sense, because the game really doesn't do a great job of helping you out in that regard. It doesn't tend to teach you the full effects of them. It doesn't give you the straight-up numbers, and I find that to be unfortunate, but I have learned the numbers, and as such, I do have a great deal of capability with them. Alrighty, go to right here with Roy, and we'll do a little bit of a funny thing, where we'll take Deke, a little bit of a phrasing issue there. We will not be taking anything except for a unit. And I'll just place these guys down like this, and he'll be just fine. Barthe with a sword can take these guys on, no problem. Take drop. Dance. Not dance, don't really care. And there we go. Now next map, we are going to be getting a fair bit of treasure. We're going to be getting that route split. Do let me know which one you prefer between Echidna and Barthe as your pre-promote. I'm going to be going the Echidna route, just because Echidna is like my second favorite character in this entire game. Regardless of what she turns out to be, she's going to be one of my favorites. But do let me know which one you like better, because honestly, in terms of combat ability, I think that Barthe is the better one. This game has a strange place for bow users, and if you have high bow rank and high strength, you have a use in this game. Wyverns, yeah, okay, see, I was right. If you get killed by that, it crits you, but if you don't get killed by it, it doesn't crit you. Unless I just got like the most lucky thing of actual all time, just to prove my point in a completely wrong manner. That would be hilarious, to be quite honest with you, but I'm quite confident in this, so let me have this. Either way, Lou gets a kill. I would love to get 2 hero crests, because I do want to use Lou. Really badly, I want to use Lou. But because I know that Shanna is ahead of him on the promotion line, it may be a while. Because there's absolutely no justification for not promoting Shanna as soon as possible. She gets plus 30% crit rate in this game from promoting, so I'm 100% doing that. So you don't move because you're killing edge. You don't move because you're surrounded. You don't move because you're surrounded, but you will move. And I don't have any armored units, despite Barthe, so we can just move on down here with these guys and theoretically be just fine. But just to prove, no, I'm not going to play that just to prove myself a game again, because I already know what's up. It doesn't not cause fear to do this. Like, it is definitely scary to do this, but I'm aware of what the potential consequences are, and thus, well, I'm going for it, because I know what the potential consequences are. When the potential is 0, you can pretty freely move as you please. Those guys don't move. I honestly don't remember if this guy moves, but I'm pretty sure he does. So once I get Barthe in here to kill this guy, that could be a lot of damage, potentially. Probably will be. I might want to just use Deke for this one. I don't really see why not. Because I just kind of don't like interacting with killing edge people. It's a little bit scary. I'd rather use a killing Deke. Anyway. That'll be alright. I do wonder how I'm going to kill the boss. I don't want to use Deke, but he is by far my best choice for that. Because 3 res is not doing this guy favors. This guy will kill me, and otherwise... yeah, they're still not going to move, so I'm just going to place you here. I don't think you'll die to this guy. Yeah, you literally can't. Ironic, because usually he would super mega die to that guy. As a result of the Armor Slayer against an armored unit. I'm still gonna play Shen here. I don't know. Just something about Roy being in range of an archer is a complete no-go. Even though I'm confident in my abilities in this way. Alrighty. There we go. Quite a long trudge through this map. It is a lot of corridors. But not a lot of doors within those corridors. Makes you wonder why they don't call it a hall. Whatever. My language does not have any sense to it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. I about said Har, the FE10/9 Wyvern guy. Wouldn't he be nice to have in this game? I do hope that I get a good Wyvern rider. It is unfortunate that the one that we wound up getting... Oh geez, anyway. The sneezes, the crits, they don't stop. I'm just saying. Anyway, I was talking about Wyverns. I hope that we get a good Wyvern unit, because it's a shame that the one that we got was Sue, with like 2 strength or something. You really hate to see that. Let's see. Roy, don't do that. No. We're not messing with that guy. Actually, Elfire... That is right. Elfire doesn't weigh these guys down in this game. So maybe Boars? Wow. Mages are actually quite scary. If I get Shanna out of range, then I cannot kill this guy with Deke. And then give the kill to somebody else. So, rescue Shanna with Roy. Deke will now face some crit rates. And thus it's not worth it. So, we're going to reverse that decision. And we're just gonna place Shanna down. Right there. And then Deke's gonna get the kill. Because I don't want to risk anything with him. That's just how that's gonna have to be. He might have got the crit anyway, who knows? It's really impossible to tell. Okay, well now it's possible to know. Indeed, once you've committed to an action and you've proceeded with that action, you then know the outcome of that action. Now whether or not you believe me, that is up to you. But I will let you test that hypothesis. Go ahead, do something, and then once you've done that thing, tell me whether or not you know the outcome. He got res? It doesn't mean anything. It's 2 res that he has, but that is impressive. That's a 2% growth. That might be the lowest growth rate that is non-zero in a Fire Emblem game. So that's crazy that he got that. But anyway, like I was saying, go ahead, test my hypothesis and prove me wrong. Do something that you have no idea of the outcome of, and let me know whether by the end of that you know the outcome. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on into this last section of the map. Kind of neatly arrange all of our units into a strange little formation right here. And probably just use Deke to kill the air caliber guy, because that's about my only option. His attack at this point, or his, not attack, his HP is so high by this point that it doesn't matter what he does. He is the only unit who I trust wholly and fully. 19 minus 1, he could actually still die to that if he gets crit. Luckily, air caliber doesn't have innate crit. It feels like it should, but it doesn't, so... 15 would be his crit avoid threshold, and Shanna gets him there. So, we'll drop Shanna right there. I guess I could use Shanna to bait, too, because she has pretty good res. 11 res, I mean, she would take 8 damage and not die, because at full HP it's not possible for her to die, so... Maybe I'll just use her to bait. Defense. He keeps missing attack, oddly enough. That's very strange to me. He has a pretty good attack growth. Well, HP and speed for Saul. That'll work. Saul's probably never going to gain a point of defense, is he? And Shanna right here. Yep. And then these guys just have steel axes, if I recall, so I can just kill those guys with probably Barthe. I don't need to. I'll use Lilina for those. Barthe is pretty much just promoting next chapter, or maybe at the end of this one, and we're calling it good there. That said, I don't know if I should exactly promote him, because my usual threshold for promotion is not level-based, it's if a unit caps a stat, or if they need stats very badly. And right now he falls underneath one of those categories, in that he needs the stats. But I also think it would be reasonable to promote him as soon as he caps either defense or strength, because then he's maximizing utility in those stats. Because, like, if he promotes with 20 strength or 20 defense, then he's promoting into, like, 22 defense or 22 attack or something like that. I don't remember perfectly the gain from that, but it's pretty good. Let's see. You guys can attack from there, so I'm going to have to use Deke for this one, just to not bait those guys out prematurely. Or I could do that. Let's try something here. Rescue. Take, drop. Rescue strats are really good too. If you've not messed around with rescue strats a whole lot, I would recommend doing so, because they open up your gameplay tremendously. So if I were to move Lilina up, and then also move Boars... It's too late to move Boars into range, isn't it? What's your hit rate like with the Slim Sword? 101 hit, and 26 avoid. With Lilina in range, that would be a little bit more. I might just go ahead and kill with Deke anyway. I don't think I want to mess with a mage, not with Barthe of all people. It's way too risky to do that. If he misses, then he dies, and it's not even a matter of getting crit. He just dies from that. Alrighty, and then I will use Barthe to go ahead and bait out both of these guys, because he will be safe. And I will go ahead and move Lilina into range as well, just for that little bit of help. Take and drop. I think that's in range, yeah. Alrighty, don't get double crit on me, my guy. I think you could get crit and hit once and still be fine. Well, not quite so much, but that's okay. He is dealing almost half of their health with a Slim Sword, and that's impressive. If I do give him the boss kill by some miracle, which I don't think I'm even capable of, unless I keep him on his Steel Blade and chuck javelins when he's at 1 HP until he miraculously hits. I don't know. Do you think he'd get anything more than just HP defense out of that? Or would it be more worthwhile to not do that? It probably would be more worthwhile to not do that. But I'm still tempted in my own way. Very nice. 2 kills for Lilina. I could possibly focus the kill into her as well. She would gain another level if I did that. Very nice, okay. It's quite good. She's already almost on the level of Lou. Actually, potentially better, depending on how you look at it. Pretty neat. We'll see if Roy can get this hit, just for the level up. If not, that's okay. Do I want to give this one to Lilina, or should I give it to somebody else? Lou is almost at a level up. Maybe I'll give it to Lou. We'll see what he gets. He doesn't get as much action as I would wish him to. But that's okay. He does a good job. He does a very good job with Chad nearby. Although he is 1 point away from dying if he were to get hit, which is pretty rough for him. But that's okay. That'll happen sometimes. A little bit of strength, a little bit of speed, please. Luck defense. Well, that was not great. Definitively not good. Deke is probably still my best option just for the weakening purposes of this. Either that or I just dance a bunch for Shanna and let her use the killing edge or the Wo Dao. I think I'll start with Deke. Just don't double crit, I guess. Or don't crit at all, please. Just don't get this kill, please. Don't crit, don't crit. Please, Deke. Okay, now you can crit. Good, excellent. He did the most optimal strat. Now I could potentially give this one to Barthe. He has 3 chances. I could give this one to Barthe. He has the opportunity now. How much damage does he do? Oh, boy. Oh. He has more damage than he has hit rate. But that's still 3 chances. If he hits one of these, you have to subscribe. You have to. You have to send this to everybody you know if he hits this. If he gets this, it's absolutely insane. There's no way, right? Like, it's a 6%. We have seen a 5% hit on this channel before. 6% is above 5%, believe it or not. So there's a chance. There's a chance that he hits this, right? He'll probably get 3 more chances next turn because the healing and stuff will be perfectly acceptable. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that at all. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to back off for a turn. But that's okay. I'm still gonna give him the opportunity. Ooh, actually, is Deke gonna be okay? Yikes, he can't be... Can you be rescued by anybody? Oof. I misplayed heavily there. Can I take who you have with anybody? Ooh, that's bad. That's rough. Ooh. Deke, you're gonna get the kill, aren't you? Unless I put Shanna in range. I guess I could put Shanna in range. She has no worries about this. She does have worries about this. Ooh, I heavily misplayed. That's rough. Because nobody can rescue him now that he has... Yeah, that's just rough. I could potentially rescue Saul down. How much con do you have? Or, yeah, him rather. If I were to rescue him to there, then I could... Okay, I'm actually completely fine. I'm actually... See, this is what I mean by rescue strats opening up your gameplay. You can do things that you couldn't do before, and that's always cool. That's what they say in the business of Fire Emblem. There's always a way out, no matter how stupid you are. And believe me, I test that threshold. That is absolutely factual. I say that, and then I unironically move Barthe into the range of Henning of all people. Oh yeah, he can get more hit rate as a result of his supports. That's wild. Could you imagine, even for a moment, that he would get more hit rate from being in range of support partners that give him hit rate? Absolutely unimaginable. Oh boy, well I'm gonna have to rescue him again. Now I'm kind of set on this. Now I kind of want this very badly. I'll give him a couple more decent shots at that, because I think that I could weaken this guy down. He still has 8. Okay, I do want to drop with Chad instead of just using Roy for that. And then we dance for him once. We give it another shot. Make sure that Boris and Lilina are in range of him. She was already in range, but that's fine. 13 hit is the threshold. We've seen worse. We've seen almost 3 times as bad in this channel. So it's possible. He's got up until this guy heals past the 8 HP threshold. Okay, well, he's probably missed the threshold by now. Oh boy, maybe Roy. Maybe Roy can get the kill. That's what I'll go for next time, probably. Maybe. Potentially. Drop, and go right here. And then a little bit of Boars. Yeah, I mean, that's decent. It's still possible. It's still very much possible to do the thing that I've been wanting to do. If he misses every attempt this time, then I'll get the kill with somebody else. I need Lilina in range. Can't do that with Boars standing right there. Actually, Boars needs to be in range too. Would Lilina be able to get the... No. If I use the steel sword, maybe? No. She can safely stand right here. I'm content with that. I'm not risking that one. No way. So now, if he doesn't get this, then I will go ahead and get it on Shanna or someone. Maybe Deke if I have to. 13%. Okay. Maybe Roy? Dang, he doesn't even get the kill without the Iron Lance. But then he gets doubled and dies. We're not risking that one, I'm sorry to say. Shanna doesn't get it without heavy usage of other weapons. I can't pick up Boars now, so I'm probably going to have to use Deke for this one. That's quite unfortunate. I will, in that case, use Roy to see if he hits. Should I? It's actually quite scary here. It got very, very scary all of a sudden, actually. Maybe I'll rescue everybody out and just allow Boars to tank the hand axe hit. 7, 19, 19 minus 15 is 4. I mean, he's fine. Yeah, that's completely okay. I can't drop Barthe because he's way too thick, but I'm okay. I'm very much okay with Boars getting this kill. He is a fantastic candidate for that. He is one who desperately needs good level up, so this is completely fine. You're lucky you got out of that threshold of having to subscribe. Oh, ooh, I could have had every one of you, every single one of you of that magical YouTube number that YouTube gives me that tells me how many people aren't subscribed that I haven't thrown on screen yet, probably because it doesn't really affect me that much. Hey, that's a good level up. As long as you're enjoying the content, I'm very much happy. Do make sure to leave that like, though, if you haven't already, and leave me a comment if you haven't subscribed, or if you have, whatever. I'm perfectly fine with either one. And now Lilina can probably just seize the throne and gain Roy's father's heirloom, which she will be using. Roy, here it is. I got the thing. The Durandal. The Blazing Blade. I'll just send that back to the convoy for now. Right now, Marcus could use it, but nobody else, and I don't really have intention to use it until I need it. It is one of those weapons that you do have to conserve a little bit, and I am going to skip this conversation really quickly. Please let me skip this one. Okay, a start button. No, I don't want to see. Don't tell me. I'm blocking everything on the screen for you guys. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what's what and who's who. Go, get out of the... Okay, I don't want to see the randomized classes for 2 pre-promotes. I don't want to know. I have to be really careful next chapter, too, because Cecilia appears on screen during that chapter. And I don't want to know. I like to let the run go untainted. I hate that that scene is not skippable by just pressing the start button. That is really unlucky. Oh well. Doesn't matter for now. You guys don't see, even though I unfortunately saw a glimpse, and now I can't purge that from my brain. Unlucky. You better be thankful that I have editing to back me up on this. You better appreciate that. But anyway, that was a pretty fun chapter. We got some good level ups. I did forget to promote Barthe at the end of that one, so he'll have to hit that at the start of the next episode, so you'll have to make sure to tune in for that one. And see the legendary promoted Barthe with the Devil Axe, because he will be making his rounds next chapter. Next chapter, we also make the route split decision. So like I said, let me know in the comments below if you like Echidna or Barthe better. I will, by the way, show the units that I don't get and the treasure that I don't get from the route that I don't go. I'll either play off screen or I'll just grab screenshots from FE Builder whenever I go in and look at those, just to let you guys know what we're missing out on. But we will be going the Echidna route. I prefer the maps. I prefer the characters, both Laurum and Echidna, over Barthe and Elfin. And we should be getting some treasure, too, because there is a village in that map. Well, there are 2, but you can only get 1. And that should be about it. So make sure to do all the usual YouTube stuff, the like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And hope you enjoy. That's about all there is to it. So until next time, I'll see you later.